Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for considering ending my not terrible marriage because being a stepfamily just isn't working? My husband, 40M, was a widower when we met. I, 36F, was a single woman who had never been married before. My husband has a daughter, April, 13, from his first wife. April was 5 when her mom died, 7 when my husband and I met, 8 when she and I met, and 11 when we got married. Things with April were okay before I got pregnant. And by okay, I mean we weren't very close and she wasn't calling me mom or saying she loved me. But we got along well and she said she had no issues with us getting married. She was in the wedding as her dad's best person. All was good. Then I got pregnant with our son, who is now 4 months old, and it all changed. She was furious when she learned we were expecting. She told us she would not be okay with that, and she asked her dad how he could do that to her and her mom. From that moment on, she was hostile to me and very angry and lashed out at me, my husband, and anyone who tried to say she was going to be a big sister or described our son as her little brother. We got her into therapy and we did family therapy. April refused to speak. We tried to find a therapist who'd click for us, but she wouldn't talk. Then we did find a therapist that made April speak one time, and she spoke to say she did not want to work with us or make things better. She would not say why or answer any questions the therapist asked her. She didn't address it with her individual therapist either. They worked on other stuff. But that wasn't enough to help her come around. People said once our son was born, once she looked at him, she'd fall in love and would go back to how she'd been before. That has not happened, and she's aggressively against anything to do with him. She has never held him, and we have no family photos of the 4 of us. It breaks my husband's heart. He has talked to his daughter and disciplined her, but it does nothing. She will scream that he is not her brother, and she's even against saying half because he's not my sibling at all. I can't speak to her at all now. Gone is the nice relationship we had, and that makes me sad too. But this isn't working, and our home no longer feels like a home. It feels like a house on the verge of collapse. I'm not sure I want to stay married and figure this out for another 5 years. I don't see any hope for it to get better, and even though my son will still have to be around, maybe having 50% of the time be in a loving home would be better. I'd be happier even though I love my husband. When I confided in a friend, she told me I can't give up this fast, and I'm not giving it time to get better. Am I the bad person? What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for exposing my ex-fiancé mistress 12 years later? 12 years ago, I, 36F, was engaged and about to get married to Carl, fake name. Everything in my life seemed perfect until I found out my fiancé was having an affair with a new hire of his job called Camilla, 20F. Both of them were in serious relationships. I broke off the engagement with Carl as soon as I found out and told Camilla's boyfriend about the cheating. Well, it was hard for me, but I moved on after months of therapy and the help of my friends and family. Now I am married to Henry, 41M, my amazing husband and father of our 4 children, 9F, 7M, 4M, and 4F. I moved to the other side of the country years ago, and I never thought about my ex-fiancé or the cheating again. My husband works in a law firm. Last year, they hired a new lawyer, Daniel, 34M, who moved with his family to live in our area. He and my husband became very good friends, as they have similar interests and personalities. Henry asked me to invite Daniel's family to our house to help with adjust to the new city and job. When Daniel came to my house for a play date for our kids, his kids are 4M and 2F, he introduced us to his wife, Cam, 30F. Well, Cam was Camilla. I really didn't know how to react when I recognized her. I had the impression that she also recognized me. Our husbands didn't understand why everything seemed so tense, and we pretended to not know each other and made failed attempts of small talk. After an hour, Kim made up an excuse and her family left. Henry noticed my behavior and asked me what was happening. I told him everything. He already knew about my past with Carl and the affair. Later that day, I received a text from Camilla begging me to not tell Daniel about our past. I read the message and didn't reply. But I decided to not say anything and mind my business. This was not my problem anymore. After a week of silence, Daniel shows up at our doorstep looking very agitated. He talked to my husband alone, and after, Henry asked me to tell Daniel my version of everything. Like my husband, Daniel realized something weird happened on our meeting and spent the week trying to get answers from his wife. She refused to tell him what happened and then tried to say I was her ex-boyfriend's side chick, and that's why we were so tense. Daniel didn't buy her story, and they had a massive fight. After the fight, he realized I was the one that could tell him the truth. And I did tell him everything after he asked. I even showed him the text message Camilla sent me. I didn't feel the need to sugarcoat things, since Camilla was out there telling lies about me. Daniel was in complete shock because cheating is a trigger for him. His father cheated on his mom for years and left the family for his mistress, which made him hate cheaters. Camilla knew about this since their first date. Daniel left our house looking defeated, and in the same day, I received a call from Camilla accusing me of being a revengeful B-star. She said I was trying to destroy her life. I don't think I was wrong for telling the truth, but this happened last year and I received calls and random messages from people close to Camilla saying I am an asshole for exposing Camilla's past to her husband. Am I the bad person? What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for refusing to forgive my ex-best friend and other friends even after 6 years later? I, 28F, used to be best friends with Anna, 28F, since high school. She was popular and outgoing, while I was the introverted nerdy friend. In high school, I had a crush on Ethan, 28M, but I assumed he'd prefer Anna, so I stayed out of it. They started dating, and I supported her with reluctance because of their toxic, on and off relationship. Over time, I grew to dislike Ethan because he was rude and mean. They broke up when we were 21, but got back together with him a year later and eventually got engaged at 23. 3 months before the wedding, Ethan drunkenly called me, asking why I rejected him. I dismissed him and said he was drunk and ended the call. The very next day, I was kicked out of group chats and ghosted by everyone else in our friend circle. When I texted my friends to ask what happened, they gave me the silent treatment. When I reached out to Anna, I found myself blocked. Desperate, I even tried calling Ethan, but my number was blocked too. I had no idea what I'd done wrong, and I wished anyone would tell me. That week was hell. Anna's silence hurt the most because, at the time, she meant everything to me. I barely slept, battling panic attacks at night while trying to keep it together for class during the day. If not for my supportive roommates who helped me through my panic attacks, I don't know how I would have made it through. Anna and I attended the same local university but took different courses. I waited for her outside her class. When she came out with her friends, I pulled her aside and asked what was going on. She accused me of being a fake friend who tried to steal Ethan. I denied her accusation and asked for proof, but she went silent and left. They didn't unfriend me on Facebook, but kept posting about their hangouts and the bridal shower, along with indirect jabs at me. I eventually deleted my old account and changed my number. I slowly rebuilt my self-esteem and moved on. I recently created a new Facebook account. A few days ago, I was added to a group chat for our upcoming reunion, which I had no idea about. They greeted me, calling me class president as if they hadn't shunned me 6 years ago. I left the group, but they messaging me. Anna kept calling, so I finally picked up out of annoyance. She told me that she was sorry for everything and wished for me to come to the class reunion party. The party didn't seem to be complete without the class president every year. She told me that she divorced Ethan after 2 years of marriage. She tried to reach out to me but couldn't find any of my socials or contact info after we graduated. I asked her why she was telling me all this when she was not important to me anymore. She cried. I ended the call and continued ignoring their messages on Messenger. My family says forgiveness is for my own peace and that it doesn't mean forgetting. But I don't feel anything anymore, only indifference. I don't owe them anything to ease their guilt. So, am I the bad person? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.